So, hello and welcome to a special episode of Rebel City Podcast. It's been a while since I've had a guest, which is good. And we're just doing a wee something a bit different, so Matt's not going to join me, mainly because we thought a three-way Skype call might be a wee bit shite, so we just decided to just leave it to me. The reason that this is a special episode is I've got Amanda. How's it going, Amanda?
Good, thanks.
So this will be might be a wee bit funny. If there's a bit of a delay, I'll just make sure that I give enough time for you to respond if I'm asking a question. But Amanda came to my attention on Instagram through her Instagram stories. She's got an amazing Instagram profile called Mrs. Brain Trainer. And the reason that I've asked Amanda to come on the podcast is because I wanted somebody to come on during this sort of crisis that we're facing and talk to us about how can we get through this, because I'm seeing across all my social medias, all my friends, everybody that I engage with is telling me that it's been tough and that they're having a hard time, whether it be with addiction problems or their diet or their fitness, no matter what it is. I think everybody's experiencing a wee bit of sort of struggle. So I think what would probably be good is just briefly, because I'm going to get you to come back on once I can get you into the studio, in air quotes, if you're listening on audio, because it's basically a spare bedroom in my house. What is it that you actually do?
So I work with people's minds, and kind of the name gives it away, Mrs. Brain Trainer. So I'm a trained clinical hypnotherapist, and I've kind of studied the human behaviour and subconscious, I suppose. I've been obsessed for the last 15 years. But really the last 8 years is when I've started implementing it, seeing the changes, transforming myself and helping other people. So basically I'm the queen of calm, and I help people. I just see stress. I think stress is the underlying thing of a lot of problems. So I kind of show people how to keep control of their emotions and just get that self-care strong and help them achieve whatever they're setting out to do.
That's superb. I mean, I've got a counselling diploma, CBT diploma, and I really wanted to go and do that because I desperately wanted to just help people. So I'm going to assume that obviously you doing what you're doing, that it's the same sort of thing. I tried to get over, or I did get over my own addiction and my own mental health problems, and in that journey I realised that there isn't a lot of help for people, especially people that don't have a lot of money. You need quite a bit of money to take care of your mental health. But so yeah, I tried to get into that just because I really wanted to take care of people. So like, thankful to you for what you're doing. Like, your Instagram profile is amazing because the advice that you're giving out on the Instagram stories is free. So you don't even need to like go and pay for your service. You're giving out a service out there, so that's amazing. And like, personally, I just like to thank you, because I genuinely think that people like you, like, we need more and more and more people like you. But the main sort of topic that we were here to talk about today was, how do people survive during what is the most unprecedented and probably the most weird situation that we've ever had to face up to. And obviously I've got some specific questions about that, but I mean, we could open it up just by having a general conversation about like how we're finding it, and like the sort of bits and pieces that you're doing personally, and I'll maybe chip in because I'm sure the people that are listening to this are sick of hearing what I'm doing to get through this.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, I'm doing quite well, to be honest with you, but it's only because I live through a filter of what you focus on, you get more of. So no matter what I do in my life, I've always got that as the backdrop. So if you're focusing on kind of switching the news off and keeping your self-care strong, and really the only thing we can control is ourselves. So if we just manage our own emotions, stress levels, then I know that I'm going to ultimately be able to cope better with whatever's kind of thrown my way. Don't get me wrong, like, my life's been turned upside down as well. Like, my daughter's exams have been took off her, schools are gone. So it's not because, like, I've got this wee ride and life's great, because it's not. Like, we're all kind of in the exact same position here.
Yeah.
So I suppose for me, it's all about the mind. So I look after myself mentally, physically, emotionally, and that then helps me cope in these times that have fell upon us that none of us kind of expected to happen.
Yeah, and if so, I'm the feel the exact same. Like, I think that if I go back 5 years ago, before I had experienced my own sort of struggles, I was in the middle of them, but I just didn't realise. If somebody had said to me that you can control your emotions through the way that you think about things or how things impact you, I would have said that that's nonsense, because I don't. the thing goes in, and then I've got no control over how that I react to that. If that makes me feel scared, if that makes me feel angry, then that's just part of me as a human being. That would have literally have been my response. And I think that there's a lot of people out there that they're not awake to that fact that you're absolutely in control of your mentality, and the way that you think impacts the way that you feel, impacts the actions that eventually come out the other side of that, and then that goes into a circle, and a lot of times a negative circle. So I even think that that's a really important point for people to sort of realise is that your attitude towards what's going on right now is within your control. But how do you think people, if you were to give people just like a cookie cutter, not even a cookie cutter because that's the wrong wing, but like a quick sort of like, how do you make sure that like you don't sort of implode? Like, is there any specific sort of routine or anything that you do like to get yourself like sort of ready, or what is it that you do personally?
My morning routine,
Yeah.
So when I wake up, I basically, what I don't do is I don't go to the phone. What I do is I open my eyes and then shut them again, and I do a TM-based type meditation. It's a mantra kind of style, and what that does is it just gives me the opportunity to just get a wee bit of distance between me and my thoughts, calms my mind down, just cleans the slate, gives me a kind of a blank canvas to kind of go throughout my day with. I moved from that into yoga with Adrian. So she's one of the top kind of YouTube yoga gurus online, and she's got a kind of 30-day home sequence, and I'm on day 5. This is a kind of new thing. I've always trained my body in one way or another, but the yoga seems to be perfect for this crisis that we're all in. So I'll do about 25 minutes with her in the morning, which just mind-body connection. So that's really meditating, and then yoga is like the perfect recipe to begin the day with.
Right.
Black coffee comes next to just get me fired up to go and look at whatever I'm planning to do that day, and then I'll look at my phone and I'll start responding to the outside world.
Okay. How important do you think the timing is of that? Because just to share briefly, the similarities are ridiculous, because I get up and I do, and this isn't a humble brag, or I'm not bragging in any way, I do 2 meditations in the morning. So I do my TM. The reason that I do 2 is because I'm almost a wee bit worried to drop my TM meditation, because
I do one in the evening.
Yeah, I do 20 minutes in the morning.
You would do that.
But I've recently started to do another meditation that, I don't know if you've heard of the guy Sam Harris.
No.
He's an American prominent atheist, and he believes in mindfulness and meditation. He's got an amazing app, and obviously I'm not getting paid to promote his app, but his app's called Waking Up. And within the app, it's got a 180-day course in meditation, but also it's got like guest speakers, and they talk about mindfulness. But his meditation is basically, for my mind, the same as TM, but without the mantra. So it's just about feeling the energy field that surrounds your body. That takes 10 minutes, and I love it. but I don't want to drop the TM.
So good.
So I don't want to drop the TM, so I do 2 meditations. I do my 10-minute sort of waking up app, and then I do 20 minutes TM. I have a black coffee, I have a pint of water, and since this crisis has started, I've been going out and over to Kelvin Grove and walking around the park for an hour at about 7 in the morning. So that's my morning routine. So if you swap the walk with yoga, then it's almost identical. Yeah, and one of the things that I took this for your Instagram story, was don't look at your phone. So the first thing that I used to do in the morning was I would pick up my phone and I would check the news app. So I would check the Apple News, then I would meditate, but I didn't really get anything negative for that. But when I was listening to one of your Instagram stories, I thought, do you know what? Somebody's sharing something that's best practice. I'm going to try it. And I've noticed that my meditations are just so much more focused, and I find them just definitely more concentrated in comparison to what I was doing before the news app. So that's my morning routine. Like I said, they're very, very similar. But so the question was, like, how important do you think the timing of that is?
The timing of
the routine. So like, if you get somebody that's potentially sitting listening and thinks, I got up in the morning, I don't want to do that first thing, I just want to sit, flick through my phone for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, then I'll get to my morning routine. I want to just sit and do nothing for 20 minutes. Do you think it's important that you really sort of like get yourself ready through the sort of steps of meditation, movement, and then potentially like sort of energy through the caffeine? Or do you think it's all right to flip that and do other things first?
I've tried it both ways. Trust me, the other way does not work. Like, it's not successful or sustainable, because I don't know if I trained with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and 2 years ago or last year, if I can't remember, for 4 days, and he's the international kind of neuroscientist guy. And he talks about how most people, they wake up and they look at their phone, kind of what I was saying.
Yeah.
Those you have messages to people who are dragging you in all different directions straight away. That means even if you were thinking about going to do your meditation once you've had a wee scroll and whatever, that's gone, because you're now away into an avalanche of memories and situations and these people's problems, and your day is completely snatched for you. And so I always believe that feed yourself first, and then you'll be able to kind of make that spill out to others. Yeah,
setting yourself up so that you're the best version of you for when you encounter other people, I think, is a good, like, if I wake up and I don't do my morning routine and my girlfriend wakes up and she maybe says something to me and I snap at her, then I'm getting myself off to that really, really shitty start. Do you know what I mean? So
you become reactive instead of responding. You're just instantly like reacting to kind of stuff that's going on outside.
Absolutely. One of the big questions that I did want to ask is that a lot of people that I'm seeing, I've got a lot of mates having been a musician and like engaging with people for this podcast. I know a lot of freelancers, I know a lot of self-employed people, and one of the big things that I can see them doing is that they're desperate for this to end. And when it got announced last week that this was going to be extended for another 3 weeks, even though pretty much all of them admitted that they had an idea that that was going to be the case, they all felt really deflated. Do you think that setting a date or having a date in mind, right, it's going to end here and I just need to get myself through to that point and then it'll be okay, I can go back to life as normal, nothing's changed, let's just get to, even like last week, let's just get to 3 weeks down the line, that's when they're going to end the lockdown? Do you think you're setting yourself up for disappointment or failure? Or like, what advice would you have for somebody if they're sitting listening to this and saying to themselves, I just need to get myself through to the middle of May and then it's just going to go back?
I think it's like a coping mechanism, isn't it? Like, people give themselves these things to sort of, like, they lie to themselves and they tell themselves things to just, and that's fine if it gets you through to the next day, but I personally don't think having that in mind is helpful, because we basically have no control over what's going on in the outside, zero control. And so if it was me personally, I would just focus on the only thing you can control, which is improving yourself, making sure that when you are ready to go, you're like a horse getting let out to go its race.
Yeah.
You're ready. You're keeping. If you're watching the news, if you're telling yourself your business is going to, be gone, if you're just scared, you're self-torturing yourself. It's basically self-hypnosis if you're thinking, oh, what's the worst all the time. And so you're basically then you're buggering up your immune system. So you're actually, by doing all these scare type things, I feel it actually weakens you.
Yeah.
So by the time it comes, your head's just all over the place. But I don't think setting the date thing's good. I think focus on your diet, your exercise, and your mind, and you'll be good to go. And just take away the expectation, because expectation, nobody will ever, nothing or any, it just won't ever meet what you expect.
Yeah, that's something that I've definitely struggled with throughout my life, is expecting more, not just of the situation, but of myself. Do you know what I mean? Like expecting too much, expecting miracles to happen when there's no work going into feeding that sort of goal or miracle that I'm hoping to happen. What do you think is the sort of best practice in this case? So focus on your well-being, whether that be diet, fitness, mindfulness, which I think we're all becoming more aware is actually taking care of yourself, that meditating isn't like some kind of woo thing. Yeah, for people that are sitting in a cave in robes, it is literally like daily practice, and it needs to be done just like going to the gym. If you want to be physically fit, you need to exercise. If you want to be mentally fit, I genuinely think you need to meditate. And I've had people say to me that's ridiculous, but that is genuinely my viewpoint. But in that sort of space of when can we expect this to end? I want it to end in 3 weeks. When am I going to get back out? Is the best practice, other than taking care of yourself, which absolutely we should be doing, is it better to just have an open mind? Not to have a date in mind. Don't expect anything. In fact, let's just be comfortable in the situation that we find ourselves in. We all find ourselves in, adapt a little, and then just be open to this being the new normal.
Absolutely. Like I think it all comes down to kind of how the filter again. So how we filter things out, right, is based on our life experiences. So we've took screenshots throughout our whole life, and how we view this situation is determined on our past, basically, right? Yeah. So unless you've worked on yourself, obviously. So for me personally, and not just for me, for a lot of people, I'm seeing this as a gift. Other than people obviously being sick and dying and my daughter's exams and all that sort of, but of course there's bad, but if there's bad, there's obviously good. It's, the law of opposite. And so I'm using it as a gift to rest, to restore. Actually, this new stuff excites me. And so that's only, if you think in that kind of realm of reality, then you're not really going to struggle with this new way of living. And so I think how you perceive it, and don't get me wrong, like it could be so easy for you to just see everything's grey, do you know what I mean? Everything's bad, like this is horrendous, because that's what the media is kind of trying to do and trying to program the people to kind of think that way. And so I definitely believe there's a choice. You definitely get a choice in how you're going to look at this. And for the people who choose to look at it as a new beginning, I think they'll be the ones that'll be able to cope with whatever the outcome is.
Yeah.
So it's all about perception.
Absolutely. I think as well, in that, like in saying that, if you can deal with this, because this is, I mean, it's weird. There's a strange sort of atmosphere when you go out into the street. It feels like a movie. I mean, I live in the city centre, which I'm so thankful I've got the park there. And I've got shops near me that aren't that busy because people aren't at their work. I mean, I live in town. But me and my girlfriend Sharon last Saturday night at 8 o'clock at night, just as the sun had set, went for a walk around the city centre. And honestly, it was the weirdest experience in my life. But it was also it was so cool. I mean, I want to just echo something that you just said a minute ago. I know that people are dying, and there is nothing that I can do about that. But I refuse point blank to sit down and dwell on the fact that there's people out there that are sick and dying. I might contract it. I might be one of those people, but I can't control that. And I can't personally do anything about the hundreds of thousands of people around the planet that are contracting this virus and dying for it. So instead, I'm trying to take advantage of silly things like that. The city centre's quiet, there's nobody there, it's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Glasgow city centre would usually be buzzing with people out on nights out, but instead there's tumbleweed, like dogs and literally like foxes running up Sauchiehall Street, which was like, there's a fox in the middle of Sauchiehall Street. Took some pictures, but it was such a surreal experience, but such a cool experience at the same time. And I think that there is also the possibility that if somebody was in that, they could have freaked out and they could have got a bit overwhelmed with the fact that there's nobody there, and I've only seen this one guy in like half an hour walking through the city centre. It could have been a really sort of freaky experience, and it could have really shifted somebody into a negative mindset. But I just chose to take pictures of everything and just sort of document this sort of strange time. So I'm with you on that.
I think it sounds as well like we're probably well trained at picking out the positives, and you only get like that through coming through hard times, because you train your brain to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like that was my point I was going to actually make. So you just reminded me. So cheers. That if we can get through this, if we can actually like get through the worst situation of a generation, 2 generations. I mean, people are referring back to the world wars, to like people that have seen adversity the way that we are experiencing this, and I think that that's right. But if we can get through this and get through the other side, I genuinely think that we could do anything.
It's so empowering, and it makes you become fearless, because it makes you. I've went through kind of really tough times before, and you get the why me and the try me people, and luckily enough I'd been programming my mind like for a few years beforehand. So I think due to that I became this person, and I was like, hold on a wee second, if I can do that, like I can do anything. And I just started like smashing life, and I literally went after every single thing in that goal list that I'd been, making excuses and all that, and had the self-doubt had been eating away, and I was just, I used it. So basically I see myself as an expert. Actually, if you were to ask me what I do really well, it would be I'm an expert in turning pain or grief even into a strength, I suppose. And I think this is what this will give people, should they choose to view it that way, that if they can get through this and thrive, then, anything's possible.
Yeah.